what is AI? What's really behind AI?
Artificial intelligence was programmed by actual intelligence. Actual intelligence was passed down through ancestral intelligence.
Oh, wow. The dialogue that doesn't happen inside of the boardrooms.
What they don't understand in some boardrooms is behind every program, every community, every business, every member, every offer is a human.
It's going to impact the workforce in some way, shape, or form.
AI is answering the calls. AI is logging in the CRM and tagging the database.
How technology is impacting the lives of everyday people.
We've been measured wrong for years.
Our creativity, what the essence of being a person is all about.
We're the original technology, human beings.
Let me ask you this question, how do you quantify that?
So I would say you quantify that by what if I told you that every day you're making decisions, forming opinions, and even shaping your future based on information you haven't verified and don't fully understand? Would you keep moving the same way? Because in today's world, it's not the lack of information that holds people back. It's the trusting in the wrong information and not realizing it until it shows up in the results. And the reality is, this isn't just happening to a few people. It's happening across culture, across community, and across business. We're more connected than ever, more informed than ever, but somehow less certain than ever. So the question becomes, are we actually getting closer to the truth or just getting better at navigating the noise? Today, we're breaking that down, looking at how technology is shaping what we believe, how we connect, and how we make decisions across culture, community, and business, finding the signal through the noise. Welcome to the Briefing Room, the podcast where business, technology, culture, and community converge. I'm Myles Smith.
And I'm Freddy Collier. This isn't just another podcast. This is where civic thinkers, industry leaders, and creative voices come together for honest, insightful, and actionable conversation.
Each week, we bring you to the heart of the conversation, cutting through the noise and digging into what's really shaping our world across sectors.
From public policy and business to strategy.
From community action to cultural trends.
This is the briefing room. Let's get started.
3, 2, 1.
So Myles, what's up, man?
Hey, man, blessed by the best, man. It's been a long time coming. Very excited for this, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. Freddy Collier, the positioner, right? So, man, tell them what we getting into on this episode, bro.
You know, Myles, we want to talk about a subject that's impacting everybody's life. Technology.
Yeah.
No matter whether you're rich, poor, black, white, blue, brown, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Technology is cascading every aspect of business, community, and culture. And obviously that's what the show is all about.
Yes.
So we want to dive into that today, man, and really get some perspective and really share with the audience out there listening how technology is impacting the lives of everyday people. And hopefully get into the cracks and crevices of the conversations, the dialogue that doesn't happen inside of the boardrooms and the ivory towers and the meetings.
Absolutely, because when I think about it, we're the original technology, human beings.
Okay.
Right? So technology was made to make our jobs easier, right? And to imitate what we do. And what they don't understand in some boardrooms is behind every program, every community, every business, every member, every offer is a human.
That's right.
So we are the original technology. And I'm really excited and encouraged to talk about this conversation, to have this conversation with you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's funny when you said we're the original technology. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was talking about AI a little bit.
Yeah.
And trying to think about, what is AI? What's really behind AI?
Exactly.
Right? And it was so funny because dealing with it on a day-to-day basis, what I end up seeing is that AI is pulling from information on the internet.
Yeah.
The information that's out there on the internet is all from human beings.
Yeah.
from people, whether it's from books, research papers, you name it. It all stems from human intelligence.
It does. I like to say the origins of AI is that AI comes from AI. That came from AI. And what I mean by that is artificial intelligence was programmed by actual intelligence, right? But actual intelligence was passed down through ancestral intelligence.
Oh, wow.
And when you have two or more things working together, now you have a system. So we have a intelligence integration system. But what this system does is it amplifies intelligence. And that intelligence it amplifies is authentic intelligence. So I believe in this era of AI, as it checks off all the boxes, right? We're going to start measuring people more. We're going to see the true value of people, right? We've been measured wrong for years. So there's a quote by Albert Einstein that says, everyone's brilliant, everyone's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it would go through its life thinking it's stupid, right? So there's so many people who have been measured wrong. They've been measured by how many boxes they check off. But now that AI is checking the boxes, AI is answering the calls, AI is logging in the CRM and tagging the database and is checking all these boxes, we won't be measured by that anymore.
Right.
Instead of measuring you on those boxes you check, maybe I'll measure you on how deep of a thinker you are, or how creative you are with problem solving, or the essence and the wisdom that you bring to a deal.
So we'll really start to be judged by our humanity, right? Our creativity, what the essence of being a person is all about.
Absolutely.
Right? And let me ask you this question, like, how do you quantify that?
So I would say you quantify that by service. I believe we're here to please God and serve people, not please people and serve self. A lot of times we fall into that.
Amen.
But ain't nobody pleased, so that don't serve us. But that ain't
right.
what we're here to do.
Right.
So you can tell how people serve, right, by how they treat those they think they don't need, right? Like, I've been in plenty of meetings with millionaires, billionaires, and one thing that a couple of my friends told me is they like to judge people at a restaurant on how they treat the waiter, because that's someone you don't think you need, right? So that's how you can tell the true character of someone. How do you serve people? The value, true wealth is the value that you can provide for others, right?
Yeah.
So how do you provide value for others in a way that pleases God? I think that's the way that we're going to start measuring that, because it would be proven in the value that's provided. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, and it's this notion of human connectivity.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're in a time now, and you said it in the intro, we're more connected than ever.
Yeah.
We got all these devices. We got a pocket encyclopedia. It does everything, right?
Yeah.
And we're technically more connected, but one would argue that we're disconnected. I was reading a stat that talked about 1 in 6 people globally is lonely. And young people feel lonelier than the elderly. You know, we see a lot of suicide and things amongst young people. And here we are in a world that's allegedly more connected. So do you think like technology is bringing us together, or is it creating an illusion of connection while actually pulling us apart? What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. So that's a deep, broad but focused question. I would say in ways it has pulled us apart when we rely on it, right? When we rely on the technology to do us for us, that's when we lose the connection, right? Because the connection is through the discernment that we have as human beings. And we were made for dominion, right? We were made to have domain over things. But when you allow technology to do the things that you're meant to do, meaning to have your discernment, let me see what's on the timeline and let it influence me, right? So a lot of people know I'm an audio engineer as well, and our phones. You ever been thinking about something, and then your phone pulls up an ad about what you were thinking. You didn't even talk about it. You're like, how did my phone pick this up when I didn't even say anything about it, right? Well, we give off frequencies. And a phone has an antenna that reads frequencies. So it can pick up on what we're thinking, and then it can push what it thinks we want. But the problem behind the technology is who's behind it. There's always a who, right? The algorithm is set by who, right? So it's not like the technology is thinking. It's based on higher valued outputs. It's a predictive system.
Yeah.
All it does is predict.
Yeah.
But who set the algorithm on what it predicts and how it categorizes everything? And it comes back to the human beings. We already know that a lot of people in power don't care about people. They care about the world, but not the people in the world. So the technology isn't highlighting the humility or the humanity, right? Like, if it was, I mean, look at the Michael movie, Michael Jackson, right? Like, Michael was like, he was like the last of the Mohicans, right? When it comes to being put in front of people. And if we had that type of energy behind the technology, then it actually would bring us together because it would serve us. But what it's doing is leading us down a path of destruction just so that we buy in. Man, I hope I didn't go off there.
No, it's good.
Because I like to chase rabbits.
What I'm feeling is, you know, what you're saying is it captures more than connects.
Exactly.
You know, and when you talk about capturing something, it's about like corralling and harnessing, you know, not really making, you know, true connections. It's so funny you mentioned that, because I was saying to my son the other day, because one of my biggest concerns is the implications of technology on youth and young people and their ability to relate.
Yes.
And I was telling him, and this is a quote, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, that's biblical. You know, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Exactly.
In essence, right? And I'm always telling them that, you know, you have to keep your mind focused on things that are positive.
Yes.
And I said, one example of this would be when you pick up your phone and you start looking at content, you got to be careful of that content that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because as you continue to look at things that perhaps you shouldn't, that's what's going to pop up in your feed.
Exactly.
And I think to myself, like, is there a connection there? I mean, our brain, to your point, with neural pathways, and you know, if you think on something long enough, it starts to always come in your mind. It starts to get in your spirit, and you start to act it out. And I just wonder, is that the same setup with respect to the internet?
You know what it is? And that's when it comes back to discernment and family. You know, even your son having you at home to be able to speak into him in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, we know doubt comes through the eyes, but faith comes through the ears of ones who hear the word of the Lord, right? Yes. So when you see these things, the way that you can navigate through it is to hear, right? So to be in your doctrine, you know, whether it's the Bible, some read the Quran, the Torah, you know what I'm saying? When you read these things, because this is wisdom, right? This is wisdom from generations before who were inspired and guided by God, right? And when you hear these words, it's like, how can I say? So I'm an artist, and I've always been on Michael. I love Michael Jackson because he served people, but he always penetrated. He was sharp. His visuals were sharp. His dance was sharp. He was like, he showed you that you didn't have to just be good at one thing. Like, he was one of the greatest singers, but he was the greatest dancer.
That's true.
He was one of the greatest music producers, you know, music video producers. He had the most selling, the top selling album, but what made him see that? If you listen to Michael was always listening to the word of God.
Yeah.
And everything that he did.
Yes.
Because if he focused on what he saw, then we wouldn't have the energy that he brought into the world. So that discernment, you know, and you putting that into your son is so important, because it's a lot of young males who didn't have that. Yeah. And I remember seeing the disconnection when I was in my early 20s, right? I'm a millennial, y'all. So, you know, we created social media, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember we would be in the club, and I was with one of my friends, and he saw a girl that he liked. He said, hey, yo, that's the one girl from Facebook, Instagram. I'm like, go talk to her. Instead of going to talk to her, he sent her a DM and said, I saw you at the club tonight. I was standing right. You see that disconnection?
Yeah, total.
He didn't have enough experience
Right.
to have the courage to go ahead and commune with her, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing I do believe with AI, it is going to bring that back. There is going to be something where people are going to want to experience more in-person experiential
Yes.
experiences. I do think that's coming back.
100%. And
Yeah.
you know, it's funny. That's a great segue. You know, because when we think about technology as it relates to business, right? The one thing that gets people off of their computers, their laptops, their phones,
Yeah.
is the experience. So I come
Yes.
from a development background, a planning director, and dealing with urban development. And one thing that we used to always talk about was this notion of placemaking and what that meant. Now that's evolved completely, right?
Yes,
Because it's
absolutely.
all about what you're saying with respect to experience.
Yes.
If I can shop online, I don't need to go to a mall,
Yeah.
right? If I can do all of these things virtually, why do I have to be in the physical?
Exactly.
Right? But part of what you laid out is there's a why that you need to be in the physical.
Yeah.
But we have to give people a reason to be in the physical, right?
Exactly.
And that reason to be in the physical is the experience, right? So when you look at everything now, it's all about the ambiance.
Yeah.
What can you get in the uniqueness of the world that you cannot get on a piece of equipment?
Exactly.
And I think that is going to be key to sort of how we recreate that sense of like community and connection.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we'll get there the more that because everyone's into AI, right?
Yeah.
We use it, I think, as a large language model as good as a creative partner, as a research partner. But then you got all these people trying to create the next coolest thing nobody asked for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I think people should focus is on how do we serve and solve problems that was there before the latest technology of AI or whatever it is was out, and leverage it to solve those problems and serve people. Because as it starts serving people, people will have more time to be like, hey, I want to go to experience something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know what? I called in to the dentist, or I called in to see about my grandma's SSI, and this voice agent answered, and it gave me everything I needed. Like I didn't have to wait on the phone with Social Security for 7 hours. And then when they answered, the call dropped, and I got to wait for a call back.
Yeah.
And now I'm spending my next 2 to 3 days on this one thing, and I'm frustrated with technology. And while I'm waiting on the phone, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I'm getting more and more disconnected. Where it's like I called, it told me what it was. It said she actually was great for this program. It connected me to what I want. Okay, I don't want AI calling me probably, but if I want to be served real quick, let it serve me.
Right.
Now, since it serves me, I got time on my hands now. What can I go experience? Let me go see the Michael movie with my grandma. You know what I mean? Or let me go experience something. Let me go to the park with my family. I think when people start to realize that AI just needs to serve, you don't need to build, you don't need to create or invent anything. You just need to own where it shows up and how people experience it. They'll start to adopt it. It'll become normal. And then it's going to open up edutainment. People are going to want to go places where they experience something new, but it's immersive and it's engaging. And I feel that market is going to blow up.
Let's double down on that concept,
Okay.
because I know that's been in discussions we've had before.
Yeah.
And when you first mentioned it, I was like, okay, there's a word. Let's talk a little bit about edutainment and
Yes.
really what that means to Myles Smith.
So edutainment coined by KRS-One, right? So for those who don't know, I am a award-winning violinist virtuoso, and I rap, sing, had a couple of deals, worked with Rock Nation, Sony, all that stuff. But now I'm a principal technologist of an AI transformation firm. But when I was doing music, and I still do music, it was all about edutainment, educating while we entertain. Because when you go back to the ancestral intelligence I was talking about, how did that get passed down to us? It got passed down to us through storytelling.
That's right.
Through festivals, through dance, you know what I'm saying? Through movies, through books, in ways that tapped into our imagination and captured us in a way where we felt joy, right? And we felt experience by being educated. So edutainment is when you educate while entertain, right? So years ago, I did a Stop the Hate tour, right? Where I partnered with the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage.
Okay.
And they have this Stop the Hate poetry contest. And we went into MLK,
Okay.
which is a high school, right? MLK High School,
Yeah.
yeah. And when we got in there, I told the students, I asked them, have you ever heard, I went in there, I played and performed, and they were excited. So have you guys heard of the Stop the Hate poetry contest? Like, you can win up to $100,000 in scholarships. They're like, really? We never heard of it. But right when you walked in, they had a big banner in the hallway of the school that they were a proud winner of the competition.
Wow.
But the thing was, no one was engaging them. You have to meet them where they are. We like to be entertained.
Yeah.
That's why Michael captured us so much. That's why music and entertainment has been distorted and infiltrated, and it pushes the negativity. Because if I can capture you, even if you don't understand what I'm educating you on, because I could be educating you on wisdom of God, godly wisdom, or wisdom of the world. And wisdom in Hebrew is just skill. And the Bible says, beware of worldly wisdom. So I could be giving you skill of the world and not skill of God. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And you know, that's so funny you mentioned that too, man, because in this world of content, I was just telling my wife this. There's so much good content out there.
Yes.
And there's so much that sounds like right. And you're like, wow, this is good. And you're sending it to people, family and friends.
Yeah.
And you think you're spreading the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it sounds so sweet and it sounds so good. It makes so much sense, right? And it hits you like right here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I have to pause and ask myself sometime, okay, how does this align with the book?
Exactly.
You know, and that is something that I think is a very complex issue. You know, in today's world, and goes back to, you know, the theme of the episode, you know, signal versus noise. You know, which is it? You know, and what do you follow? What do you listen to? And is this access pulling us away from our core? Very tough, man. Very tough.
Yeah. And I like that you say that signal through noise, because signal is what cuts through noise, right? But you have to have discernment to be able to see the signal. But we all do have that, because we were made in the image and likeness of the Most High. So we do know what right and wrong is. But see, the problem is, not the problem, the challenge is, there's a lot of fluff out there.
Yep.
There's a lot of entertaining out there, and not enough clarity. But there's a trust deficit, so people want clarity.
That's right.
See, clarity is currency in this new age.
That's right.
In this age of artificial intelligence, amplified intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Clarity is currency, but it's even more powerful than that. Clarity doesn't just give people currency, or you can make money. I mean, I've made money being clear, right? Being able to tell my clients and explain something to them and give them the perceived value of a transformation. But not just transactionally. Clarity gives people courage to get over disruption. Because disruption always follows intention. But God told us to be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue.
Subdue, yes.
And then you can have dominion. But subdue means to trample and stump on.
Yeah.
So this disruption that comes, trample and stump on it, because it's not greater than you and the assignment that God put you on. Right? But what is this disruption? This disruption can be other people. It can be the anxiety that everyone's pushing right now to make everyone fear and give them all these limited beliefs. Or sometimes the disruption can be you. It can be your mind, the anxiety that you have. And when you give people clarity, they have the courage to get over themselves, step out on faith, gather the dots, and know that God will connect them.
That's right.
You know, we're always trying to connect dots on our own, but you got to go gather them first. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you'll stay in this perpetual loop of getting ready to get ready, preparing to prepare. And that's not what we need right now. We need everyone at the table, hence why we call this the briefing room.
That's right. That's right.
You know, we need everyone involved. People need clarity.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like if I give you clarity about something, you'll know, okay, I need to be involved in that. It's just like, I don't need to know how an engine is built for me to understand traffic laws. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just like you don't need to understand machine learning and computer vision and discrete math and all these things to build a large language model to understand what AI is and how it's no longer a tool set, but it's an environment. And it can be an environment of empowerment for you. But you have to have enough courage to get in there.
That's right.
Because we need you there right now.
No.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit, you know, and really talk about quality of life and business and you know, how people are living and surviving.
Yeah.
Workforce, right? So a lot of companies, you know, are going through AI transformations.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to impact the workforce in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, yes.
And CEOs are going to have to really think critically. And I almost feel like it's a moral decision that they're going to have to come through to, because it goes back to us being in control as people, as humans, right? And leveraging the tools that technology provide to be able to become more efficient, or in some cases, I say bionic. Yeah. Right? It's an extension of us.
Yes.
And CEOs are going to have to make some really tough decisions about substitution versus augmentation.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you think about substitution, that is what it is. It's, you know, it's my goal efficiency, people don't matter.
Yeah.
Or do I want to take people and make them better? And this is going to be a dilemma that a lot of our chief executives are going to have to, you know, determine sort of which path they want to take their company. What do you feel, or what do you see with respect to business and heads of organizations, whether it's small, medium, or large, you know, and that dilemma that they're going to have to contend with over the next several years?
I believe that they need guidance. See, because in this age of AI, we know in business strategy is up top, right?
100%.
Innovation is at the ground. But since it's the Great Equalizer, innovation, I mean, strategy and innovation have to meet.
That's right.
Right? And a lot of these organizations, as they're relying on their discernment and what choice to make, they have to know that the heavy lifting is now. Like, you need guidance. Don't think that AI is this magic tool, right? Because there's organizations who have got rid of people, right? But now they're like, we have to hire people back.
Yeah.
Because they were so
seduced
by the fluff and the magic.
Yes.
And they need guidance so they can penetrate the magic thinking, right? Whereas like AI can just do it, but then it's like, oh, this AI system is sending work to the wrong department. Like, this guy is not even in manufacturing. He's our accountant. And this guy, that's because an AI model is only as powerful as its knowledge base. But a knowledge base has to be organized. It has to be structured. You know what I mean? Like, you have to bring in an organization like us, right? International, what do they call it? Shameful plug or whatever you call it, right? International Multimedia Group AI, you know, to come in and go to deep discovery. Like, we have to interview stakeholders. We have to interview heads of departments. Like, we have to audit your processes. You know what I'm saying? These things have to be structured so that then this can be a knowledge base that doesn't contradict itself. And then there is something called a master prompt, a one-shot prompt. So when we're using large language models like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, right? You prompt it, and then it processes and accesses data faster than you ever could. But it can't cognitively process it better. So when it gives it to you, then you have to prompt it again.
Yeah.
So it gets you a little quicker, faster. It gets you there faster. Then you're like, okay, but then it gets you there faster. Then you got to keep going back and forth. It's called chain prompting.
See, to me, that's the edge of AI.
Yeah.
When you talk about human beings.
Yeah.
You know, AI isn't new. You know, to your point earlier, technology is ancient, right?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, as we continue to improve, what happened was machines had the ability to compute faster, process. If I gave you a pen, I said, fill out this math problem for me. You could do it, right? It's just that that machine can do it in
That
light
calculator
speed.
the
calculator can do it in light speed. So this is where I think people have to understand that connection to the tech.
But I like how you took that back there, because my grandmother's a mathematician, right? She's a computer scientist. My grandmother's in her 80s. She's been in IT. She was working on computers when they were rooms, right? And one thing about a calculator, when we all start getting those Texas instruments in school, you still had people fail in math. That's because you had to know the formulas.
That's right.
If you didn't know the formula to input the calculator, you wouldn't get the output that you needed. So that goes back to with AI. It's the input and output. You know what I mean? And you're chain prompting it. But when you come to organizations, and when AI is dealing with departments and is dealing with the public, is dealing with human beings, you can't chain prompt that agent. You have to have a master one-shot prompt that is so good, no matter what goes into it, gold comes out.
Yeah.
So that takes strategy. That takes discovery. Like this agent is going to do exactly what you automate it to do. So they got everybody believing, hey, just prompt the autonomous agent and let it automate itself. And that's where you get a lot of the horror stories. No, you have to hire or consult with people who have the technique of automating, and they have to align with the people who are at strategy, are in innovation of the different departments, who know the mission and assignment of the organization so that it aligns. And then after that, you need people to direct it.
Yeah.
So if you get rid of people, if you substitute people, you're going to create a huge problem for yourself. What we have to do is we have to repurpose people.
That's right.
Within the organizations. I don't want to chase any rabbits, bro, but I hope that answered the question. That's my take on that.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, man. And you know, we've been talking a lot about like relationships and human relations in the throes of technology and what that means. I want to share with you this statistic, and this gets into sort of the people and relationship side of this. 71% of Gen Z says digital relationships can be just as meaningful as physical ones. Wow. Now, I'm a Gen Xer, and I don't buy that at all. So are we witnessing a healthy evolution of how humans build bonds? Or are we engaging in a generation that will struggle to connect face to face when it matters most?
Wow. Oh, man. I think it's an and not an or.
Okay.
Because technology does connect us in a way. I mean, like, we know the land of familiar is the land of failure. That's why God told Abram to pack up and leave. He became Abraham.
That's right.
But we can leave the land of familiar, of how people might know us, without physically leaving, just by sitting here in this podcast and shooting, right? Like, we're going to connect with people all over the world because of the technology that we have, right? But you still do have to have that discernment of real interaction. So it's like we have to come up with a society where we keep the, shout out to Craig Platt, the human in the lead.
The human in the lead.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great quote.
We're going to have to do that because technology can help. You know what? I want to give you a case study that my company was a part of. So last year, there's an initiative called All Our Babies Cleveland. It was granted the Transformative Arts fun, right? And they reached out to me to be a performing artist because a lot of people here, I know everybody on the internet don't know who I am yet, but in Cleveland, they know who I am, right? So they said, we need to have Humble G the fiddler needs to perform, he needs to come play his violin. So I came, and then I saw some bottlenecks. And it was revealed to them that I was in the field of artificial intelligence. And the All Our Babies Cleveland initiative was about supporting Black maternal health and baby equity. And they partnered with Cleveland Clinic. So they needed to gather Black birthing stories that weren't heard. Because live data is better than any data. Like you can be, your aim can be serving a community, and that community can represent 5 different profiles, but you could be only serving one because you haven't heard from the other 4. Right? So a lot of these Black birthing stories weren't heard. And so they had a stagnant CTA button, that's a call to action button, on their website that the mothers would hit and they would record their stories. But then they had this really amazing phone booth when you went to their events, because they threw events through the whole year where they come in and they would deliver their stories. But I was like, I believe we can get more richness out of their stories through conversation. So I said, let's utilize conversational AI. And I offered to them, what if we built you an inbound voice agent and trained it, for lack of better words, to interview the mothers and engage with them and gather the richness of their stories. So when I put the proposal together, All Our Babies went back to Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Clinic liked it, made us a technology vendor, and they supported it and paid us. I mean, like I can say I work with Cleveland Clinic just because I was trying to please God and serve people through All Our Babies.
Opportunities.
But what happened was we gave the agent a Black voice, and we gave it a master prompt, and that master prompt was trained on the emotional intelligence of myself, my wife, and All Our Babies. So when they spoke with this agent, it felt like, oh my goodness. A lot of the women were shocked that they were even comfortable speaking with the agent, because we turned up the temperature on the agent being able to be cut off easily. We let the agent know that they'll be deep in thought, so don't cut them off. This is a sacred moment. And within a month and a half, because it was the end of that term, they got more data in that month and a half and stories than they did in a whole year.
So it almost turned the AI into sort of this, it gave the AI a level of authenticity that's not typically achieved by those types of tools.
It's not, because it's the human beings behind it.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So that replication of human attitude, human voice,
and it served those mothers, which in the greater scheme of things, it serves Black maternal health. But for us to think that way, most people would have thought AI inbound voice agent is a receptionist. But we thought for community engagement, and we used the highest value that we can bring to the world and the marketplace, which is our imagination. That's your highest value, because we were made in the image and likeness of God, and image is the root of imagination.
And, you know, when people call in, you know, to any organization for service, they want 2 things. They want efficiency, because they want to know what they want to know. But they also want authenticity. Right. And I think that is something that what you just articulated kind of brought to light with respect to it being a possibility, utilizing technology. So it'll be interesting to see where this technology thing goes.
It's going to reveal that authentic intelligence we were talking about.
Like, for sure.
Like the authentic people who have been measured wrong for years are going to become so successful and so valuable. And let me speak. I want to speak to. I'm going to speak to the people, right? Those with authentic intelligence. We need you to get in. Like, get into this technology, because right now, I won't say this is the last year to get ahead when it comes to AI and when it comes to content creation. But this is the last year to have an unfair advantage. And AI is only as great as its knowledge base. And who has more knowledge than people who have been in the world? Who has more imagination than people with authentic intelligence, right? So we need you guys to get involved because you are needed, and to get over yourself, get over your limited beliefs, and hopefully, even if it's not through our content, if it's through other content, it doesn't matter. Hopefully, you will reach a place in your life where you believe more in your leverage than your limitations. Because right now you have a leverage, and your leverage is your authentic intelligence and the technology of artificial intelligence.
Right. And one of the things that we're going to get to in our next show is AI, the Great Equalizer.
Yes.
Which is what you're alluding to.
Yes.
And we're excited about that conversation because that is an empowerment conversation.
It really is.
So on that note, we're at time.
Well, we actually got some more time, man.
Do we?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, wow.
We're good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. All right.
Like we're good, man. He trying to rush, man.
No, man.
Look, we still in 2026, bro.
We can be here till tomorrow. You know how we do.
We still in 2026, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say something to the people one more time. I got another hot take, right? Like, I know it's not the new year anymore, but this can still be a new year for you. Like, what if 2026 wasn't just another year for you? Like, what if it was your proof that alignment is the greatest strategy and clarity is the most powerful currency you could ever carry? Because I want you to understand, this ain't about chasing tools. This ain't about chasing AI trends. This is about becoming the kind of thinker, the kind of builder, and the kind of human who can harness this moment and set new terms for your future from your lane and for your legacy. So if you need permission to get over yourself and start before you're ready, we give you permission.
That's right.
Like, start before you're ready. Like, that transformation that happens in the dark will be revealed in the light.
Yes, it will. Yes, it
So
will.
go ahead. You already in the dark on your phone. You're scrolling all day, right? So go ahead, do the heavy lifting. Understand that we're at a point in time where the whole world is learning a new technology together. Self-paced, right? But what I want you to understand that your earning curve is connected to your learning curve. Like, the quicker you learn, the quicker you earn. I started an AI transformation firm 1 year and 8 months ago. And since then, I have certificates from Harvard University, Google. I'm in AI governance. I've worked with Google. I've worked with civic organizations. I've met Freddy Collier in a different light. Like, you've known me as performing. But now we're sitting here on a podcast called the Briefing Room Podcast, and we are doing amazing things with artificial intelligence. It really is a tool of empowerment. And I want to give you your flowers, Freddy. So I went to an AI roundtable, and there was a bunch of tech guys talking a bunch of techniques. And I got up and I spoke. And I spoke in a way with conviction, not for the people at the table to see me, but for them to have the confidence knowing that I see them. And afterwards, everyone ran over to me. Everyone was talking to me. You had all these people in these high positions and government and civic and everything. And everybody wanted to pick my brain, right? And Freddy came over there and was like, hey, man, people will leverage you and people will monetize you. You need to monetize yourself. And ever since then, Freddy has positioned me in rooms. He's positioned me with people because I believe that he was able to see the light that God blessed me with. And when he came to me, he said, hey, man, I know you as Humble G. You know, I know your wife, you know, and we got to meet each other on this playing field. And I've seen Freddy before. I've heard of Freddy. But there's an old Kemet, which is ancient Egypt proverb that says that the cuts of a diamond must cross paths more than once for the diamond to shine. Wow. And we've now reached that point where I believe we're shining together, brother. And I want to give you your flowers because I know you don't like to talk about your position, so I ain't going to talk about your position. But who knew that a black man from East 93rd was so powerful in this city? And I know you're very humble, but I want to say I appreciate sharing this briefing room with you, sharing stages with you, man. And I look forward on continuing to do so.
And I'll say, the glory is God's.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
All right, man. This has been great. And this is our first episode, but look forward to many more.
Yeah.
And this is a conversation of consequence.
Yeah.
And in the briefing room, we're going to have more dialogues around community, around culture, around business.
Yeah.
And talk about the through lines between those things.
Absolutely.
So, Myles, always a pleasure, brother.
Always a pleasure with you. And to everybody, we just want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for providing your attention. You know, it's hard to get people's attention. We hope we served you. This has been the briefing room, where strategy meets society and clarity is currency. So stay informed, stay intentional, and stay ahead. And we'll see you at the next briefing.